Croeso cynnes I bennod newid sbon o Gwennan a Sioned yn siarad ffwtbol. Mae'n braf iawn cael eich cwmni chi unwaith eto wythnos yma, a mae yna lwyth o bethau ar eich cyfer chi ar y rhaglen heddi. A mae rai fi gyfaddau, mae yna bach o thema Americanaidd gyda ni, achos mae Jess Fishlock yn mynd I fod yn ymuno â ni yr holl ffordd o Tacoma, Washington. Mae hi'n mynd I fod yn sgwrsio amdano'r NWSL. A ni hefyd yn mynd I fod yn cwrdd â rai o chwaraewyr Americanaidd Met Caerdydd. Felly, Gwennan, lot o bethau'n digwydd heddi.
Oes, cyffroes iawn I ddod mewn I popeth a edrych ymlaen I cael chat bach gyda Jess hefyd.
Yn bendant. Ond, Gwennan, ni am ddechrau fan hyn yng Nghymru fach a sôn am y canlyniadau yn erbyn Kazakhstan ac Estonia. Gwennan, 6 pwynt, 7 o goliau, 2 fydd y goliaeth, y dechreuad perffaith I dîm Gemma Granger?
Yn sicr, hapus iawn. Fi'n credu os ych chi wedi gweud yna cyn y gemau, bys y pawb di bod mor bles. Fi'n credu oedd y gêm gyntaf yn berffaith o ran gêm gatre. Naethon nhw'n dda iawn I cael y gêm gyntaf adre ty beth, ond falle'r ddau detholion o lan y grŵp fel gemau gyntaf, jyst I adeiladu bach o momentum. Ond oedd y perfformiad ar y nos Wener yna lawr yn Parc Ysgalet yn wych. A hyfryd gweld sgorwyr wahanol a gymaint o goliau anhygoel hefyd.
Yn bendant. A hefyd, mae'n ymgyrch hir iawn, 19 mis tan I ni'n ffindo mas os mae Cymru mynd I fod yn chwarae mas yn Australia a Zeeland Newydd. Felly mae cael y 6 pwynt, cael y 2 fuddugoliaeth reit ar y dechrau. Mae hwnna'n mynd I wneud lot I hyder y merched hefyd.
Yn sicr, a mae fe fwy, ti'n clywed y gair momentum gymaint, ond mae fe mor bwysig. Fi'n gwybod nhw falle ddim mor hapus gyda'r ail perfformiad yn erbyn Estonia, nathon nhw'n gwneud yn anodd iawn gyda cyn reolwr ni Iam o Matacain. Ond y peth pwysig oedd I cael y triffwynt yna, I cael 6 pwynt ar y bwrdd yn adeiladu'r momentum a'r hyder yna mynd mewn i'r gemau nesaf, fel bod dim gymaint o pwysau wedyn arno ni bod rhaid I ni cael canlyniad oedd I gatre falle yn erbyn Ffrainc neu rhywbeth fel hynna. Gêm nesaf ni'n anodd iawn, achos Slovenia a gyda nhw gêm agos annisgwyl yn erbyn Ffrainc, ond fydd y merched llawn hyder ar wrth gefn y canlyniad a'r perfformiadau nhw wedi gyda'n erbyn Kazakhstan.
Yn bendant. Wel, dim lot o bwynt I ni gadw mlaen siarad, achos mae rhywun yn chwarae yn y 2 gêm yn mynd I fod yn ymuno â ni a'n gynharach yn yr wythnos nath Gwens a fi ddal lan gyda Jess Fishlock. All the way from Tacoma, Washington, Jess Fishlock has joined us. Jess, first of all, how are you feeling? Because you've had a crazy couple of weeks. Are you recovered? Have you had much time to rest at all?
Yeah, I think I'm as good as I can be right now. So we have a game in a couple hours, so I'll be right.
We'll start off just quickly. We'll have a bit of a recap with the World Cup qualifiers with Wales. 2 wins, 6 points, 7 goals scored. You guys pretty much had the perfect start.
Yeah, I think we wanted to really kind of kick off our campaign kind of really aggressively. And I think that we did that. Left Estonia a little frustrated with our kind of end quality really, but I was just really happy that we scored the goal early, because otherwise I feel like if we didn't do that, then the game could have got real tricky.
Jess, can you talk to us a little bit about the mentality change? It just seems like the group just looks so much more relentless now, more ruthless in their approaches. Is that because of Gemma Granger or something else? Maybe the expectation levels increased over time?
No, I think it's a little bit of 100% kind of Gemma. Gemma's definitely come in, changed the way that we want to play, which I think has given us an added belief in ourselves. You know, I think obviously before that, we focused a lot on kind of being hard to beat, and we needed to do that at that time. So that's totally fine. But now with Gemma, she really has kind of said, no, like we have the players where we can go play now. And if we're going to do that, then we have to be relentless without the ball, where our counter press has to be relentless in order to allow us to go play. And obviously as a group, we've wanted to go and play and show off just how good we are for a while. So I think that adds a little bit, like you say, the expectations, but it's not the expectations from outside. It's more the expectations from ourselves, but also we need to have a higher level of standards for ourselves when it comes to how we're going to defend, what that looks like, be far more aggressive and, like you said, relentless.
I seen a tweet the other day. You've played in 125 out of 199 Welsh games, which is just an incredible achievement. How difficult is that with the travelling? Can you explain for the majority of people that don't understand or appreciate how travel takes it out of your body?
This last month alone, the amount of time zones, countries, I mean, I went from Seattle to Houston to Louisville in a week. Then I went to Washington, D.C. I was there. We were on the road for 2.5 weeks before I flew home to play for Wales in Wales, and then flew to Estonia to play in Estonia, and now I'm back in Seattle. It's not so much like the travel, because I go on a plane, I'll take my sleeping tablet, I'll try and get my body on the necessary time zone just a little bit faster. It's more you land and you wake up, and 2 seconds ago you were in Estonia playing a really emotional, pressurized game, and now I'm in training trying to get ready for another different pressurized game that's completely different, in a completely different setting, in a completely different environment. And it's how fast you can mentally and emotionally switch from one to the other, but stay focused in what you need to do, and then play at the level that you kind of have for yourself, let alone for everybody else. Yeah. So it's tricky. It's hard.
Well, we'll turn our focus onto the NWSL season, Jess. You're back in America, like we've established, and it's the business end of the season. There's 1 month to go. You're second in the league at the moment. Are you up for it?
The NWSL is crazy as it is, it really is. But when it comes to a final push for playoffs, you ain't seen nothing like it. It is wild. And so this is where it kind of kicks in now, because it's, I think, 5 or so games left, and those kind of 15 points are huge. You know, one game, and in this league, it is by far the most competitive league in the world by far, as everybody can beat everybody. You don't have teams that are like up here and teams that are down here. You don't have runaways. Every team beats everybody. And so we are really up for it. We have been, very, very good the last few months. I will say that we had a slow start this year, which kind of knocked us off the pace from Portland for a little while. But our form and our kind of environment, our culture and our mentality as well has really kind of been very good for us lately.
Jess, you've got an incredible squad of players. One name stands out, Megan Rapinoe. I have to say, I'll have a fangirl moment. Just what's it like to share a dressing room with her? Because she's just this colossal figure, both on the pitch, but most importantly off it as well.
Yeah, I love me some Peens, that's for sure. Yeah, she's great. Like we're good friends, and she's just so fun, and she's so supportive, and she's so kind of real, and really wants to help and make change. But also on the field, she's a goat. She's a giant. She's there for the big moments. We are a much more kind of fulfilled team when Pino is available. And she just makes the locker room such a great place. Everybody always wants to kind of be the best version of themselves around Pino. And she's so good at explaining kind of like how she feels and why she feels that way and what's the purpose behind stuff. And she really helps you understand, what kind of needs to be done and why it needs to be done. And most importantly, how it needs to be done, because I think we forget the how sometimes, and I have nothing. I love Pino. I will support her to the day I die. I think she's brilliant. So yeah, I'm a fangirl too, don't worry.
The burning question for me is, I know just how long you spend in front of the mirror before a game. Which one of you two spends the most? Because you've got similar hairstyles. So which one of you spends the most?
Pino straightens her hair. I don't touch my hair with a straightener, but Pino's there with a straightener. I for sure take longer on my eyebrows though, because Pino now and again loses her eyebrows a couple of times. So.
Talking about Wales, Jess and Harrod James has made the move over to the States with North Carolina Courage. Now they're 3 points behind you in the league. So are you kind of looking over your shoulder at Haz at the moment to just check how she's getting on?
I do, obviously. I watch a lot of North Carolina's games now because of Haz. They've been such a big team over here for so long. North Carolina, they've been the best team in this league for the last couple of years now. So it's a great move for Has, very different. You know, I always say I have so much respect for those players that are willing to go outside their comfort zone to allow themselves to be uncomfortable and then realize just how many kind of different levels they've got to go and the heights that they can reach. And I think that's what's going to happen with Has. And also, you know, people think it's easy moving away from home by yourself and in a different culture, in a different environment. And it's one of the hardest things you can ever possibly do. Like, it really is. You just don't understand it until you do it. And that's why I have so much respect for Has as well, because she could have easily have stayed in the WSL and just stayed where she was, playing well, being comfortable, not really having to do anything. You know, she's just got engaged as well, and she still made that decision to go and do this. And I have no doubt in my mind that she will be a huge success.
Gwennan, o ran gêm y dynon, i ni wastad yn siarad am Bale a Ramsey a pha mor lwcus i ni i gael nhw yn rhan o dîm Cymru, ond mae Jess Fishlock, mae Jess yn superstar a i ni mor lwcus i gael rhywun fel hi, achos mae mor fab, mae mor cool. Fi moyn bod yn ffrindiau gorau dy Jess Fishlock, mae'n rhaid fi gyfadda.
O, ie, ti'n bod mae pobl yn dweud am cario'r fflag Cymru, mae hi wedi gwneud gymaint o hynna, a sa'n credu bod pawb falle yn ymwybodol o faint o wledydd mae hi wedi, nid yn ei chwarae mewn, ond bod yn llwyddiannus mewn, mae hi wedi teithio ledled y byd, ac i y tîmoedd gorau, o rai o'r tîmoedd gorau yn y gwledydd yna, mae wedi ennill y Champions League, mae wedi bod mas yn Australia, yn amlwg wedi bod yn llwyddiannus fan hyn, mae wedi bod mas yn America nawr ers i'r gyngor yna cychwyn. A mae wastad mor balch o'r ffaith bod hi'n Cymraeg sydd yn dod nôl. Hyd yn oed yn America, mae'r tîm yn Seattle fan'na, mae cefnogwyr arbennig gyda nhw, a maen nhw wastad yn sôn o The Welsh Wizard, The Welsh Dragon. A'r ffaith bod hi wedi rhoi Cymru really ar y map, mor bwysig, ond mae'n chwaraewyr arbennig, a fi gobeithio geiff hi, mae'n cael clod nawr, ond fi gobeithio geiff hi'r clod o ran lan gyda'r Bales pan bod hi'n ymddeol, achos mae'n llawn heiddiau.
Wel, nes i sôn bod na thema Americanaidd wythnos yma, a i ni wedi gweld beth sy'n digwydd pan mae chwaraewyr o Gymru yn mynd mas i America i ware. Ond beth am rheini sy'n neud ar ffordd arall rownd? Wel, eithon ni i Met Caerdydd i gwrdd â Annabelle ac Eliana i ffindo mas.
So I'm Annabelle Sweeney. I play in goal for Cardiff Met, and I'm from Houston, Texas.
I'm Eliana Chavez. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm a winger/forward for Cardiff Met.
While I'm playing for Met, I'm also getting my master's degree in financial management at the university. I've only been here since last January, but kind of seeing that like the whole league revamp has been, you see like a lot of funding has gone into it, and you can see the benefit already. We're only a couple games in.
I played back in the States for my university team, and I knew I wanted to continue playing, and there's really not that chance. You know, there's either university or the NWSL team, so there was really nothing in between. Even playing for university is such a high level and is something that a lot of girls really strive to do, is get to that university level, but then after that, you're about 22, you're kind of really done with your career, and it's sad when you really aren't ready to be done, and for me, that's kind of what happened. And so coming over here, it really does inspire, I think, the younger generation to continue and like put their all into the sport.
Wales, when I first came here, was not really what I was expecting, but it kind of has that, at least Cardiff itself has the big city, small town kind of vibe. It was cold when I got off the plane, that is for sure. It was very cold climate-wise. I expected a lot of rain, and we get a lot of rain in Houston, but it's not cold rain, so it was chilly the first couple months, that's for sure.
Previously, I didn't know much about Wales or about Cardiff Met, and my university coach had mentioned how successful they were in Wales, and so I just decided to, give it a go, and I've loved every second of it. I know a few people from the UK in the States, and they just mentioned, sheep, rain, and that's about it. And so that's what I was expecting, but it's obviously exceeded my expectations. It's beautiful, and obviously the football and getting to, study has just been amazing.
Coming from the United States, developmental-wise, I would say that we kind of play a different style of football. it's more like kind of just basing on athletic performance, where here it's more tactical and technical approach. So I think that side of my game has hopefully been improving while I've been here.
Our first game versus Swansea, we saw little girls, piling into the stands, and that was really nice to see. And it really just shows how the game is just growing and just inspiring younger generations.
I would say the start of the season was a bit of a bump, a bit controversial bump, but I think going from there just kind of sets the stage. It was a great kind of performance to kind of start off on, and then we can only kind of go up from there for each game. I would say shooting for this season, of course, is to win the league itself, and then we're also in some domestic cups and hopefully to win those as well. Of course, always the Champions League placement is what we're looking for.
Wel, mae lot o bethau wedi bod yn digwydd dros y pythefnos diwetha yn y Brif Adran. Beth am ni ddal lan gyda'r holl cyffro?
Yn y drydydd rownd y gema, fe gipiodd bont y prif 3 phwynt oddi cartre yn erbyn Port Talbot. Carys Byfton sgoriodd unig gol y gêm wrth i Pont i ennill I hail gêm o'r tair agoriadol. Yn yr penwythnos dwytha yn y bedwaredd rownd y gema, colli oedd hanes Ponti wrth i Aber ennill am y tro cyntaf oddi cartre'r tymor hwn. Cicor smotyn Amy Jenkins yn llwyddiannus. Roedd y ddau uchaf yn cwrdd yn gêm fwy'r penwythnos dwytha, Caerdydd yn erbyn Abertawe ac roedd hi'n grasfa. Gôl wych Chloe Chivers yn rhoi'r elyrch ar y blaen yn agoliau Katie Hosford a 2 Rhian Oakley sydd wedi gwneud tipyn o argraff ers ymuno'r fenni. 4-0 ac Abertawe'n codi I frig y tabl. Yr elyrch yw'r unig dîm ar record 100% wedi 4 gêm gyda thema Caerdydd yn ail a thrydydd. Fe fydd hi'n frwydr ddiddorol iawn am le yn y 4 uchaf ac roedd hi'n newyddion da I Port Talbot gipiodd I pwyntiau cynta'r tymor hwn wrth guro'r Bari.
Wel, Gwennan, Abertawe yn parhau dechreuad arbennig nhw i'r tymor. O ti yn y gêm yn watcha nhw yn erbyn Caerdydd, be oedd argraffiadau di?
Ie, maen nhw mor gryf. Gathon nhw gol gynnar, gol wych gan Chloe Chivers, ond dath Caerdydd nôl mewn I fe. Oedd y hanner gyntaf yn weddol agos, gath Caerdydd cwbl o cyfleoedd reit ar diwedd y hanner. Ond wedyn, ar ôl y toriad, gol gynnar gan Abertawe wedyn, a chi byth yn teimlo, maen nhw ddim yn edrych fel ildio ta beth, ond maen nhw'n wedi ddim yn ildio 2 gol I colli'r gêm, a ffitrwydd jyst I cymryd nhw trwyddo, ond fi'n credu maen nhw heb colli mewn 4-3 gêm. So mae'n mynd I cymryd perfformiad mawr, bron I digwydd ar dechrau'r tymor, yn erbyn Met, ond mae'n mynd I cymryd perfformiad mawr I stopio nhw tymor yma, fi'n credu.
Ie, mae hwnna'n rhediad anhygoel. I ni'n gwybod mae masodwyr hynod o dalentog gyda Abertawe, ond mae rhaid sôn am ei ymddiffyn nhw. Mae nhw'n ildio lot o goliau, a fel fi'n credu Arsene Wenger wedodd, defence wins you championships.
100% fi'n cytuno fel hwnna. Chi ddim yn ildio, chi ddim yn colli, ond so credu bod nhw wedi ildio fwy na falle 6 gol. Mewn nhw 2, falle 3 tymor diwetha sy'n jyst yn dweud gymaint. So mae 2 amddiffynwr canol, Jenkins a gyda wedyn Clay Skinner yn y gol. Mae gyda nhw 3 arbennig. Ond chwarae teg, mae'r cefnwyr yn gryf hefyd. Mae nhw'n dda iawn o fewn meddiant, ond fi jyst yn hoffi'r dwysedd maen nhw'n chwarae arno. Mae nhw wastad mor awyddus I ennill meddiant o'r pêl nôl. Ie, maen nhw'n profiadol iawn, gadarn iawn yn y cef yna. Fel wedyn, mae'n mynd I cymryd perfformiad mawr gan tîm I meiddi nhw.
A jyst yn gloi o ran Caerdydd, gaethon nhw dechreuad cryf iawn i'r tymor. Ti'n credu nath nhw ddangos bach gormod o barch i'r elyrch, ti'n bach?
Do, a wedys I hwnna, sydd ar ôl y gêm, ond I jyst yn teimlo o ran meddylfryd weithiau, achos taw Abertawe maen nhw'n chwarae, a maen nhw wedi bod yn y Champions League, maen nhw'n ennill y gyngor yn barod. Falle eithon nhw mewn i'r gêm yn dangos nhw bach gormod, yn sicr wedyn yn ail hanner, achos o'na adegau ble falle o'n nhw'n pwyso ac yn gwasgu'r chwarae lan, ond wedyn oedd y ail neu 3-4 person ddim yn dilyn mewn, ble gallwn nhw wedyn di ennill meddwl o'r pêl uwch lan a ymosod yn well, ond fydd hwnna'n dod, mae tîm 19 gryf iawn gyda nhw hefyd, so mae'n digon o chwaraewyr y ddawol ifanc gyda nhw I ddod mewn i'r carfan yna dros y tymor.
Wel, dyna'r cyfan am wythnos yma. Diolch o galon I chi am watchan Gwennan a Sioned yn siarad ffwtbol. Bydd y ddwy o'n I nôl mewn pythefnos, ond tan hynny, diolch am wylio.
Ta-ra!